Dear listener, today we talk about life wisdom, so listen carefully. Thanks. Stop searching for happiness in the same place you lost it. Those with the worst past can create the brightest future. If you don't design your own life plan, you'll likely fall into someone else's, and what they have planned for you may not be in your best interest. Forgiving people in silence and choosing never to engage with them again is a form of self-care. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Stop being overly available to those who only show up when it's convenient for them. The only thing more precious than time is who we spend it with. One day, you'll laugh at how much you let this moment matter. Never hurt others to heal yourself. Never hurt yourself to heal others. Don't just love yourself, respect yourself. If you don't, others will have no problem walking all over you. The highest reward for hard work isn't what you get from it, but who you become because of it. Clocks measure time, but time reveals people. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed, it means the damage no longer controls your life. Recognizing that you are not where you want to be is the first step toward change. Strive to get what you love, otherwise, you'll have to learn to love what you've settled for. Your education is never complete. Commit to lifelong learning. You must let pain visit, allow it to teach you, but never let it overstay. If you find a path without obstacles, it likely leads nowhere. Obstacles aren't roadblocks, they are road signs. Choosing comfort over challenge does not lead to a comfortable life. Unless you push beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. The journey is yours alone. Others may walk beside you, but no one can walk it for you. Your worth is not defined by someone else's inability to recognize it. Problems are the price of progress. Be patient and resilient. One day, this pain will serve a purpose. If you don't take charge of your own life, others will do it for you. Living in denial will suffocate you, honesty and responsibility will set you free. Face your obstacles head on, and you'll realize they are not as strong as you once feared. No one is more unfortunate than the person who never faces adversity, for they are never given the chance to prove their strength. Change the person in the mirror, and your world will transform. You can spend your life drawing lines, or you can live crossing them. Success often comes to those who refuse to give up. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the whole book. Be like a tree, let the dead leaves drop. What we fear doing most is often what we need to do the most. One of life's greatest lessons is that we heal at the speed of our forgiveness. More important than choosing the right person is having the strength to walk away from the wrong one. Shallow minds believe in luck, strong minds believe in cause and effect. You cannot be lonely if you love the person you are alone with. Suffering comes from clinging to what might have been, should have been, or could have been. Your wounds are not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. Close some doors today, not out of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but because they lead nowhere. The things you claim to own often own you far more. Much suffering stems from believing every thought in your mind is the truth. We cannot sit and stare at our wounds forever. We must stand up and move forward. The journey to success always begins with the small step of taking a chance. Trying to please everyone will only ruin your life. A good life is not free of sadness, but one where suffering contributes to growth. Sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Pain is just a message, a sign that something in your life needs fixing. Following a path is easy, creating a new one is painful, but it leads to new possibilities. Neither success nor failure is ever final. Unfair things may have happened to you, but the depth of your pain often reflects the height of your potential. Growth comes with a price. You may feel guilty for outgrowing old friends who remain unchanged, but that's a sign of progress. The world does not become kinder just because you are a good person. In fact, good people are often taken advantage of. The real strength lies in facing adversity with a smile, gathering wisdom from hardship, and becoming braver through reflection. Pay attention to actions, not words. If someone's words don't match their behavior, walk away. Sometimes, the fear of someone leaving is more painful than their actual absence. Every success story begins with a courageous decision. Peace comes when you stop holding anger toward those who hurt you and instead feel sympathy for them. People are often more selfish than you expect. You must walk your own path. There are no ready-made roads. The greatest gift you can give yourself is freedom from the opinions of others. You cannot be afraid to disappoint people. Live the life you truly want. Some people will never align with you, no matter how right or kind you are. Change is terrifying because familiar struggles feel safer than the unknown. But don't be afraid to do things alone. Waiting for others will make you miss out on beautiful experiences. Forget trying to change people. Either change yourself, your environment, or both. Never give up on what you truly want. A person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. At some point, you'll realize no one has control over your life unless you give it to them. Your life gains meaning in direct proportion to the responsibility you choose to carry. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The strongest souls emerge from suffering, and the most remarkable characters are shaped by scars. If you are not resilient now, life will only get harder. Prioritize growth over comfort. Do not cling too tightly to anyone, not even your most beloved, because every person can be both a prison and a refuge. The key to learning from mistakes is not hiding them, especially from yourself. Life improves when health becomes your priority. The more seriously you take yourself, the happier you will be. Energy spent complaining could be used for action. Taking responsibility frees you from victimhood and helps you move forward. Enjoy what you can and ignore the rest. Don't waste energy fighting what you cannot control. Whatever the present moment holds, accept it as if you had chosen it. Work with it, not against it. Make it your ally, not your enemy. This shift in perspective will transform your life. Sometimes, letting go is a far greater act of strength than holding on. The places you are used to may not be where you belong. Every obstacle, when met with love, becomes a lesson. As you improve, you may become more disappointed in those around you. To avoid this, be hard on yourself but understanding of others. What lies behind and ahead of us are small matters compared to what lies within. Do not expect people to always act ethically. Most make choices based on self-interest, not morality. Nothing hinders happiness more than clinging to its memory. There is often a gap between knowing better and doing better. Prioritize your mental health over adapting to toxic environments. If you lack the strength to impose your own terms on life, you will be forced to accept whatever it gives you. Distance allows you to see the bigger picture, free from emotional distortion. The best thing you can do for society is to take care of yourself first. Even if you've been mistreated or taken for granted, do not let bitterness consume you. Do not pass that pain on to others. You cannot force people to love you the way you love them. The regret of prioritizing those who never put you first can be painful, but it is a lesson. When you emerge from the storm, you will not be the same person who walked in. The most important thing is to look ahead. Your past is an anchor, not a guide. Life is a series of lessons that must be lived to be understood. Before you begin a new chapter, you must close the old one. Remind yourself that what has passed will not return. Nothing is irreplaceable. A habit is not a need. No matter how many people surround you, You are ultimately responsible for yourself. It is up to you to pick yourself up and move forward. When driving through the darkness, you can only see as far as your headlights, but you can make the entire journey that way. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not the end. If something makes you nervous, it means you're growing. Some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet. What a wonderful thought. Yet, the only thing more painful than learning from experience is refusing to learn from it. In every moment, you have two choices: step forward into growth or retreat into safety. One of the fastest ways to improve your life is simply to keep your word to yourself. Your future self is watching you through your memories. You may not realize it in the moment, but sometimes a setback is the best thing that can happen to you. The biggest risk is taking none at all. Hope is like a star. You may not see it in the daylight of prosperity, but it shines brightest in the night of adversity. You cannot turn back time, but you can reset your course. Limits are only found by pushing past them. The past cannot be changed, but the future is within your control. If you hate starting over, stop quitting. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some arrive to clear your path. The limits of possibility can only be defined by stepping beyond them into the impossible. If you want to increase your success, double your failure rate. Adversity introduces you to your true self. If the path is beautiful, don't question where it leads, just walk it. You are the sum of your thoughts. The task ahead is never greater than the strength within you. Time wasted does not die without avenging itself. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. The future is always unfolding, and your greatest self has been waiting for you. Don't make it wait any longer. Success is about being prepared when opportunity comes. There is meaning in every journey, even when it is unknown to the traveler. Do not carry your mistakes as burdens, use them as stepping stones to rise higher. The moment you realize you deserve a bright future, letting go of a dark past becomes the best decision you will ever make. Happiness is often a choice, not a circumstance. At some point, you must separate yourself from the expectations of others and live for yourself. The road to success and the road to failure are nearly identical. The difference is persistence. Wake up determined, go to bed satisfied. It is always too soon to quit. Growing up means shedding illusions to gain new understanding. You are always one decision away from a completely different life. Do not seek to be a person of success, seek to be a person of value. Of all sad words, the saddest are these: it might have been. You cannot find peace by avoiding life. Do not be pushed around by the fears in your mind, be led by the dreams in your heart. Your life is your story, write well, edit often. No amount of regret can change the past, and no amount of worry can change the future. 20 years from now, you will regret more the things you didn't do than the things you did. The bad news is that time flies, the good news is that you are the pilot. Tell the truth, or someone else will tell it for you. Choosing doubt as a philosophy is like choosing immobility as a mode of transportation. Life expands or shrinks in proportion to your courage. Letting go means accepting that some people are part of your history, not your destiny. Courage, like a muscle, grows stronger with use. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? If we all dared to do what we are truly capable of, we would astound ourselves. Aim above the mark to hit the mark. You cannot live your life for others, you must do what is right for you, even if it hurts those you love. Sometimes, good things fall apart so that better things can come together. The world is round. The place that feels like the end may also be the beginning. Don't wish life were easier, wish you were stronger. Despite everything, it is still you. Change the world simply by being yourself. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you think. Adversity exists to help you discover who you are. Storms expose your weaknesses but also unlock your true strength. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Worry does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it only drains today's strength. Confidence is victory before the battle even begins. Only those who risk going too far will ever discover how far they can go. The only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own mind. Planning is the act of bringing the future into the present so you can take action now. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. The frustration you feel is your own creation. People don't resist change, they resist being changed. Life isn't fair, it's just fairer than death, that's all. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. A successful person builds a strong foundation from the bricks others have thrown at them. If you wait too long, all that happens is you get older. Just because your path is different doesn't mean you are lost. Choosing the right path is difficult, and fear of making the wrong choice can paralyze you. Courage does not mean you are without fear, it means fear does not stop you. You grow up the day you learn to laugh at yourself. Life presents great opportunities disguised as impossible situations. If you want to be happy, set a goal that focuses your thoughts, fuels your energy, and inspires your hopes. You can spend your life drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. Accept whatever comes your way, and meet it with the best you have to give. Maturity begins when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes. Time does not change things, you must change them yourself. No matter how much suffering you have endured, there will always be memories you don't want to let go of. Move forward on your path, for it exists only through your walking. The art of living is not about eliminating troubles but growing through them. Life is not something you own, it is something you take part in. What you achieve matters less than who you become in the process. The mind is everything, what you think, you become. Strength is found on the other side of the storm, earned by navigating through it. Raise your sail and begin. Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. You can have it all, just not all at once. Go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you will see further. Life is precious because it will never come again. Though the world is full of suffering, it is also full of those who overcome it. The first step toward change is deciding you will not stay where you are. Be brave enough to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. The world steps aside for those who know where they are going. Change is not painful, only resistance to change is. Everything can be taken from you except one thing, your freedom to choose your attitude in any given situation, to choose your own way. Difficulties exist to awaken, not discourage. The human spirit grows strong through conflict. Every adversity carries a lesson, the key is finding it. Dreams happen when you're asleep, hope happens when you dream while awake. The pain you've felt cannot compare to the joy that is coming. Life is not about holding good cards but playing a poor hand well. Fear is just excitement waiting for an attitude adjustment. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. When something matters enough, you do it, even when the odds are against you. Rejection does not define you unless you let it. It's not who you think you are that holds you back, it's who you think you are not. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. It's not the weight of the load that wears you down but how you carry it. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn return to the same box. Pain must be embraced and burned as fuel for the journey. The days feel long, but the years are short. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Forgive yourself for your faults and mistakes, then move forward. When you accept yourself, the world follows. Step out of the past that holds you back and into the story you are ready to create. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. You already have everything you need to handle whatever life throws at you. Be mindful of the stories you tell yourself about your circumstances. A mind full of negativity has no room for positivity. Strong people have self-worth and self-awareness, they don't need external validation. If nothing were wrong in the world, there would be nothing for us to do. Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. It's not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Waiting is painful. Forgetting is painful. But the worst suffering is not knowing what to do. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. You don't change, you simply become more yourself. The more we value things beyond our control, the less control we have. Almost every successful person starts with two beliefs: the future can be better than the present, and they have the power to make it so. Even when your mind tells you there is no hope, there is. You only fail when you stop trying. Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will destroy you. The path that scares you the most may be the one you need to take. Sometimes, simply carrying on is a superhuman achievement. Let go of the life you planned so you can step into the life waiting for you. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving a new one. Adversity is not a detour, it is part of the path. It has a way of awakening talents that prosperity leaves dormant. Never lose hope. Storms make you stronger and never last forever. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Someday is not a day of the week. Do not follow where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Hard times may have knocked you down, but they will not last forever. In the end, you will rise stronger. Never let past experiences limit your future. Action may not always bring happiness, but happiness never comes without action. How much you learn from failure determines how far you go in life. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. An educated mind can entertain a thought without accepting it. The things you do for yourself fade when you are gone, but the things you do for others become your legacy. Not being heard is no reason for silence. No effort to attain something beautiful is ever wasted. Forever is made up of the present moment. This is your life, and it is ending 1 minute at a time. A mind stretched by new experiences never returns to its old dimensions. Sometimes, losing everything is the only way to find out who you truly are. Courage is often found in unlikely places. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. One of the most important things you can accomplish is simply being yourself. You must be where you are to get where you need to go. If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you will run out of gas. You are not a product of your past, you are a product of the choices you make today. If you wait until you are ready, you'll be waiting forever. The only limit to tomorrow's realization is today's doubt. Time is what we desire most but use the worst. Courage is the power to let go of the familiar. Adopt the mindset of a student, never be too proud to ask questions, and never assume you know too much to learn. Old ways won't open new doors. Optimism is the foundation of achievement. Nothing happens without hope and confidence. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. There comes a time when you must choose: turn the page, write a new book, or close it entirely. If your heart is broken, create art with the pieces. Heal from wounds no one ever apologized for. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. Reputation is what others think of you, honor is what you know to be true about yourself. Holding on to the past too tightly keeps your arms too full to embrace the present. Success often comes to those too busy to seek it. Live fully in the present. Launch yourself onto every wave and find eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities, looking for another land, but there is no other land. There is no other life but this one. Real, lasting change happens one step at a time. A stumble may prevent a fall. Life is too short to spend time with those who don't respect, appreciate, or value you. The human capacity for resilience is like bamboo, far more flexible than it seems. Sometimes, you find yourself in chaos, and sometimes, in chaos, you find yourself. A goal is not always meant to be reached, sometimes, it simply serves as something to aim at. Where there is ruin, there is often treasure. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. I survived because the fire inside me burned brighter than the fire around me. Our wounds often become the openings to the most beautiful parts of ourselves. Adversity is like a strong wind, it strips away everything unnecessary until only our true selves remain. Your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But nothing is as painful as staying stuck where you don't belong. Life is not about perfection, it's about effort. When you bring that effort every day, transformation happens. We don't truly know our strength until we are forced to uncover it. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need permission from others to be happy. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation. Character is who you are, while reputation is merely what others believe you to be. Our greatest battles are fought within our own minds. Experience is not what happens to you but how you respond to it. It's not what you say that determines your life, but what you whisper to yourself when no one is listening. Worrying is like a rocking chair, it keeps you occupied but takes you nowhere. You cannot change others, but you can be the reason they choose to change. The most authentic thing about us is our capacity to create, to endure, to transform, to love, and to rise above our suffering. You cannot shield yourself from sadness without also blocking out happiness. Let self-improvement keep you so busy that you have no time to criticize others. The place you are used to may not be the place you belong. Even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. Sometimes, an overwhelming breakdown is the only path to an undeniable breakthrough. Your reaction to adversity, not adversity itself, determines how your life story unfolds. Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right. Challenges teach valuable lessons and make you appreciate easier times. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Resisting them only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow as they must. Failure is not the end of the road, it's just a bend. Learn from it and keep moving forward. The only choice we have is how to use the time we are given. A gem cannot be polished without friction, just as a person cannot grow without trials. Don't watch the clock do what it does. Keep going. Time enjoyed is never time wasted. If you want time, you must make it. A miracle isn't winning the lottery. It's believing in yourself when you once didn't. Our lives are shaped by opportunities, even those we miss. There is time for everything. If a path has no obstacles, it likely leads nowhere. The best views come after the hardest climbs. It always seems impossible until it's done. We can achieve anything if we persist. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. Look in the mirror that's your competition. Even positive change comes with discomfort. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The best way to prepare for tomorrow is to give your best today. Don't waste time banging on a wall, hoping it will become a door. You become what you believe. Time is a creation. To say I don't have time is to say I don't want to. It's the possibility of a dream coming true that makes life interesting. We must believe we are gifted for something, and that this purpose must be pursued at any cost. Prosperity is not without fears, and adversity is not without hope. Difficulties don't always mean you've done something wrong. Sometimes, they mean you've done something right. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. If you risk nothing, then at the end of the day, nothing is all you will have gained. The only real prison is fear, the only real freedom is freedom from fear. We need never be hopeless because we are never irreparably broken. Comparing the sorrows of real life to the pleasures of imagination may tempt you to live in dreams, but life is meant to be lived, not just dreamed. History will be kind to you because you intend to write it. Success isn't overnight, it's the result of getting a little better every single day. Grief and resilience walk hand in hand. Some battles must be fought more than once to be won. The unhappiest people are often those who care too much about what others think. A problem is simply a chance to do your best. Failure is not always a mistake, it may be the best you could do at the time. The real mistake is giving up. The secret to life is to enjoy it. Don't waste today waiting for better days ahead. Never regret a single day. Good days bring happiness, bad days bring experience. Every luxury comes at a cost, and the greatest luxury of all is simply being alive. Face your fears, and you'll see they were never as terrifying as they seemed. Life is not as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. You may delay, but time will not. The art of life is constant adaptation. Life is precious because it ends. The strongest souls emerge from suffering, their characters forged by scars. Now is not the time to dwell on what you lack, focus on what you can do with what you have. Never bow your head, hold it high and meet the world with confidence. The oak fought the wind and broke. The willow bent and survived. Act as if failure is impossible. The past is history. The future is a mystery. The present moment is a gift, that's why it's called the present. Luck is when opportunity comes along, and you are prepared for it. Don't take life too seriously, you'll never get out of it alive. Within our dreams and aspirations, we find opportunities. Confidence in our bodies, minds, and spirits allows us to seek new adventures. Strength doesn't come from what you can do but from overcoming what you once thought you couldn't. The road to success is dotted with tempting parking places. What makes you unique is what makes you attractive. Forgive yourself for mistakes, learn from them and move forward. Pain makes you stronger. Tears make you braver. Heartbreak makes you wiser. Thank the past for shaping a better future. Most people spend more time avoiding problems than solving them. Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, it became a butterfly. The smallest details make the biggest difference. We build too many walls and not enough bridges. You don't have to be better than everyone else, just better than you ever thought you could be. Your past does not define you, it is only the starting point of who you will become. Sometimes, you don't realize the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Success never comes before work except in the dictionary. Any decision, even the wrong one, is often better than indecision. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument. Defeats may come, but we must not be defeated. You are not a product of your circumstances, you are a product of your choices. Truth is not for all but for those who seek it. The first duty of a person is to think for themselves. To succeed, jump at opportunities as quickly as you jump to conclusions. You cannot change what you are, only what you do. Resilience is knowing that only you have the power to pick yourself up. True wisdom is thinking with your head and understanding with your heart. Anxiety does not come from thinking about the future but from wanting to control it. You are your best thing. Start by doing what's necessary. Then do what's possible. Suddenly, you're doing the impossible. The world you desire is real, possible, and yours to claim. If a goal is worth having, it's worth making time for. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Never let yesterday use up today. Accept finite disappointments but never lose infinite hope. Let go, release the stress. You were never in control anyway. Opportunities don't just happen, you create them. You have to fight through bad days to earn the best days of your life. Life is a race against time, so make it count. The starting point of all achievement is desire. If something is wrong, fix it now, but train yourself not to worry. Worry fixes nothing. If you're not willing to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. Challenges are gifts that force us to find a new center of gravity. Don't fight them, find a new way to stand. Don't be discouraged, it's often the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. Nothing is permanent in this world, not even our troubles. To accomplish great things, we must not only act but also dream. Not only plan but also believe. Climb the mountain to see the world, not so the world can see you. The greatest mistake in life is fearing you'll make one. Work hard in silence, let success be your noise. We generate fears by standing still, we overcome them by taking action. You cannot beat the person who never gives up. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Your resolution to succeed is more important than anyone else's opinion. When we strive to become better, everything around us improves too. If it truly matters to you, you will find a way, not an excuse. No matter how hard you work to rise, someone out there is working just as hard to hold you back. What we achieve inwardly transforms our outer reality. You will never have this day again, make it count. Don't be afraid to give up the good for the great. Sorrow looks back. Worry looks around. Faith looks up. There is no passion in playing small or settling for a life less than the one you are capable of living. Those who bring sunshine into the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. Not until we are lost do we truly begin to find ourselves. Motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. If you're serious about changing your life, you'll find a way. If you're not, you'll find an excuse. Always give your best effort, even when the odds are against you. Your mind will answer most questions if you learn to relax and wait for the answer. The most important things in the world have been accomplished by those who kept going when all hope seemed lost. Only you have the power to decide whether your future mirrors your past. The best way out is always through. Light a lamp for someone else, and it will brighten your own path. If you can do what you love and be happy, you are already ahead of most. When your work speaks for itself, don't interrupt. Progress happens outside your comfort zone. There is only one way to avoid criticism: do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. Your mind is powerful. Fill it with positive thoughts, and your life will begin to change. The secret to change is not in fighting the old but in building the new. Dreams don't work unless you do. If you overthink everything, you'll never get anything done. Don't wait to reach your goal to be proud of yourself. Celebrate every step forward. If everything feels under control, you're not going fast enough. The hardest part is deciding to act, the rest is persistence. Life is tough but incredibly beautiful. The question isn't who will let you, it's who can stop you. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Every failure is a lesson. If you're not willing to fail, you're not ready to succeed. When your mind is made up, fear diminishes. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Strength is never lost. Sometimes, you just forget you have it. The fear you don't confront becomes your limit. If you only do what you know, you'll never grow beyond what you are. The past is in your head, the future is in your hands. A sword is forged in fire. Many of life's failures happen when people don't realize how close they were to success before giving up. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. The days that break you also shape you. The hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. The magic you seek is in the work you avoid. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. You've survived 100% of your worst days. Pain tells you that you've been injured, but more importantly, it tells you that you're still alive. In the end, the only person who will truly thank you is your future self. Winners have lost more times than most people have even tried. Being weak isn't the problem is refusing to grow stronger. Be someone who was born in the struggle, not someone who dies in it. Perseverance isn't one long race, it's many short races, one after another. Never forget why you started. If you can't beat fear, do it scared. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. When everything seems to be against you, don't give up. That's often the moment when everything is about to change. You are bound to fall when you stop pedaling your bicycle. No matter how bad things seem, they could always be worse. The only bad job is the one you didn't do. Failure is not proof of inadequacy, it's information for growth. A winner is just a loser who tried one more time. Now, imagine if 10 years from now, your life were exactly the same as it is today. Would you be happy? If not, then start changing it now. Be unshakable. Be like the cliff against which the waves continuously break, standing firm, taming the fury around you. The world will try, day and night, to mold you into someone else. Resist. Success often comes down to hanging on just a little longer than others. Defeat is temporary, giving up makes it permanent. When you find your purpose, every second gains meaning. Be the person you'd want your children to admire. If a choice is difficult, make it, then don't look back.